Every performance machine begins with a question. How far can engineering go before passion takes over? On the surface, a motorcycle is just metal, fuel, and balance. Yet behind every curve lies 1,000 decisions that separate an ordinary ride from a moment that changes everything. Some bikes are built for the commute, others for the weekend twisties. And then there are those designed for something more, machines that invite you to find the edge of physics and hold it steady. This story is about one of those machines. It is about how a manufacturer took a sharp, approachable platform and turned it into a pure circuit performer that challenges far more expensive hardware. By tracing its evolution, the upgrades, and the track results that followed, we get to see what happens when a balanced road sport bike evolves into a focused racer. If you love transformations that blend engineering discipline with rider obsession, stay tuned. Like and subscribe if you want more stories like this one, and tell us in the comments which build you want covered next. The Suzuki GSX-8R entered the scene as a focused yet friendly sport bike, sitting between the approachable GSX-8S and the razor-sharp supersports that dominate professional circuits. For many riders, it offered the perfect balance: twin-cylinder power, stable geometry, and street comfort with just enough aggression to hint at bigger ambitions. But within months of its release, performance tuners and privateer racers began seeing the GSX-8R not as a finished product, but as a platform. The question was not whether it could perform on track, but how far it could go with the right combination of tuning, suspension work, and weight management. This curiosity marked the start of the GSX-8R track build project. The foundation of this motorcycle is its 776 cubic centimeters parallel twin, designed for strong mid-range torque and predictable delivery. Stock, it offers around 82 horsepower, enough for lively street performance but modest by racing standards. Yet the secret is in how that power is delivered. The twin layout keeps weight centralized and manageable, while Suzuki's modern clutch and gearbox allow smooth shifts under high stress. Engineers and builders saw this as an open invitation to push the platform further. The challenge was to retain the bike's inherent balance while extracting real circuit-level performance. Disassembling the stock GSX-8R revealed just how well Suzuki had prepared the foundation. The steel frame uses a combination of rigidity and flex that allows riders to feel the front end clearly, a crucial advantage in fast corners. The swing arm, though not exotic aluminum, offers enough stability for hard acceleration out of bends. These were not weak points but opportunities. Builders began by targeting the components most responsible for lap times: suspension, tires, and braking. The factory suspension, while excellent for the street, needed precision control for the racetrack. Adjustable cartridges replaced the stock fork internals, allowing tuners to fine-tune rebound and compression for each circuit's layout. The rear shock was swapped for a fully adjustable racing unit with high and low-speed damping control. Every click made the GSX-8R more communicative, more eager to turn in, more stable mid-corner. The change transformed the ride from compliant to committed. Next came braking. The stock calipers were strong but not endurance-ready. Builders opted for high-friction racing pads and stainless steel braided lines to maintain feel under repeated hard braking. With performance rotors, fade resistance improved dramatically. On-track feedback confirmed that braking confidence allowed later corner entries, shaving tenths off lap times. Weight reduction became the next frontier. The GSX-8RS street components, mirrors, lights, passenger hardware, were systematically removed, replaced by lightweight race bodywork and a single-seat tail section. Lithium batteries, aluminum fasteners, and a simplified wiring harness cut additional pounds. The resulting machine carried itself with agility that the stock version could only hint at. Each kilo removed amplified the bike's willingness to change direction. The engine tuning process was as much science as art. Using a remapped ECU and a free-flowing exhaust system, tuners increased responsiveness without compromising reliability. Air-fuel ratios were optimized, throttle response sharpened, and engine braking adjusted for smoother corner entries. The target was not maximum horsepower, but maximum usability. An engine that responded predictably at every RPM. On the dyno, power increased modestly, but on track, the improvement felt far greater. Aerodynamics came into play as riders began pushing speeds higher. The GSX-8RS fairing was refined for stability, with small deflectors and a double bubble screen improving airflow around the helmet and chest area. Even subtle changes reduced fatigue during long sessions. With consistent body positioning and reduced drag, lap times again dropped. Tires were selected to match the chassis' new potential. Slick compounds replaced street rubber, giving the bike grip that transformed its cornering behavior. The parallel twins torque curve allowed riders to drive out of turns with precision, using less traction control and more skill. Data logging revealed steady improvements in corner speed, exit acceleration, and braking consistency. What made this build special was not the parts list, but the mindset behind it. Each change respected the GSX-8R's inherent character. Rather than chasing peak numbers, the builders sought balance. They viewed every adjustment as part of an interconnected system. Suspension changes influenced tire wear. Braking improvements demanded new chassis geometry. Power upgrades required cooling optimization. The bike evolved as a living machine, refined through feedback and adaptation. Riders testing the modified GSX-8R reported a clear shift in personality. The once friendly sport bike now felt alive, urgent, and incredibly precise. Every control input produced immediate feedback, yet the bike never lost its composure. It was still forgiving enough for intermediate riders but capable of lap times that edged into true racing territory. The transition from road bike to track tool was complete in spirit, if not in full racing homologation. Beneath the surface, what this project represented was a bridge between accessibility and ambition. The GSX-8R showed that you do not need a superbike budget to experience authentic racing performance. With thoughtful engineering and testing, a mid-weight platform could deliver thrills once reserved for higher tiers. That democratization of performance echoed Suzuki's original design philosophy. Build motorcycles that connect directly with the rider, regardless of skill level or price tag. By the end of the build phase, the GSX-8R had gained a reputation as a tuner's dream. Workshops began developing specialized parts, rear sets, quick shifters, ECU flash kits, all tailored to enhance its track readiness. The bike had become more than a model. It was a movement within grassroots racing. Amateur racers saw it as a reliable, affordable entry into competition, while seasoned riders admired its clarity and balance. And so, the transformation of the Suzuki GSX-8R became more than a technical exercise. It evolved into a statement about potential. That a machine born for the street can find a new identity when pushed to its limits. The combination of precision mechanics, careful tuning, and passionate testing reshaped how riders viewed mid-weight sport bikes, turning curiosity into performance and theory into experience. The Suzuki GSX-8R track build proved that engineering refinement could transform a modest sport bike into a circuit-focused machine. Yet no transformation is complete without the testing that follows. And that is where the story entered its most revealing stage. Taking the modified GSX-8R to a racetrack was not just a test of hardware but of philosophy. Every component, every click of damping, every software tweak would now face the unforgiving truth of lap timing and rider feedback. Initial shakedown runs showed that the reworked chassis carried a very different rhythm from stock. The GSX-8R felt lighter on its feet, more precise through transitions, and quicker to settle into a corner. The parallel twins torque curve provided strong drive out of bends without overwhelming the rear tire. Riders immediately noticed how confidence built with every lap. It was not about sheer power, but controllability. Suzuki's balanced engine character made sense here. Smooth, predictable, and entirely usable. Suspension fine-tuning became the main focus during early test sessions. Adjustments in rebound and compression revealed how sensitive the GSX-8R's new setup had become. Too stiff, and the front would chatter under trail braking. Too soft, and the rear squatted under acceleration. Finding the sweet spot took days of work, but once locked in, the bike displayed remarkable cornering poise. It allowed the rider to brake later, hold tighter lines, and carry more speed through apexes without instability. On longer runs, tire data confirmed the setup's success. Even wear patterns indicated that geometry and damping were well balanced. The stability offered by the steel frame, a design often dismissed in the era of aluminum twin spars, proved its worth. Flex at the right moments provided valuable feel, allowing the rider to sense grip levels in real time. The GSX-8R, once a road bike with track aspirations, now behaved like a dedicated race machine tuned for endurance. Power delivery became the next variable. With the ECU remap fully integrated, throttle response sharpened considerably. On corner exit, the engine delivered torque instantly, but not abruptly. Riders found they could roll on the gas earlier, gaining tenths per lap. The custom exhaust note echoed across the track, marking each shift in tone as the bike climbed through gears. Though still well below superbike power figures, the GSX-8R's efficiency allowed it to punch far above its class in terms of lap consistency. Braking performance, another critical factor, underwent its own series of tests. The upgraded rotors and pads demonstrated consistent bite even after prolonged sessions. Lever feel remained firm, and the braided lines ensured minimal fade. The bike could be trail-braked deep into turns, shifting weight onto the front with precision. In many ways, braking defined the GSX-8R's transformation. It turned a once smooth commuter into a machine that demanded and rewarded skill. As data accumulated, the build team compared lap times against those of stock units. The modified GSX-8R regularly cut several seconds per lap, depending on the circuit. Straight-line speed had improved modestly, but it was corner speed and braking zones where the biggest gains appeared. The combination of reduced weight, improved aerodynamics, and refined suspension geometry allowed higher confidence and fewer corrections mid-corner. Riders praised the predictability of the GSX-8R's chassis feedback. Unlike high-strung superbikes that require constant correction, the tuned Suzuki encouraged riders to push harder without fear of sudden loss of traction. That accessibility became part of its identity. The machine did not intimidate, it invited improvement. For club-level racers and track day enthusiasts, that characteristic alone made it invaluable. Aerodynamic revisions proved their worth at high-speed sections. The reshaped fairing reduced buffeting at over 130 miles per hour, stabilizing the front end and lowering fatigue. Wind tunnel data, while limited, suggested measurable reductions in drag. Riders could maintain tucked positions longer and transition more smoothly through chicanes. Combined with the ergonomic changes, the GSX-8R became a bike that worked with the rider rather than against them. Throughout the testing phase, reliability stood as a key success metric. Despite repeated high-load sessions, the engine and transmission showed no signs of stress beyond normal wear. Oil temperatures remained stable, cooling systems performed efficiently, and electrical systems held up under racing conditions. This reliability echoed Suzuki's core engineering philosophy: durability before spectacle. The GSX-8R was not built to impress for a moment. It was built to endure. As word spread across paddocks, more riders took notice. The bike's lap times began to draw comparisons with more expensive, higher-spec rivals. While it did not outpace them outright, the consistency and ease of use made the GSX-8R a genuine threat in amateur racing. It became the bike that could run near the front without overwhelming its pilot. The sense of control it offered was its competitive advantage. In the process, the GSX-8R track build highlighted an important shift in the racing community. It showed that success no longer depended solely on horsepower or brand prestige. Precision, setup, and rider confidence had equal weight. A well-prepared middleweight machine could now serve as a legitimate contender against bigger, costlier hardware. The project validated that racing is not about budget, but about execution. By the end of testing, the GSX-8R had carved a new identity for itself. It was no longer just a sport bike with potential. It was proof that refinement, not reinvention, can deliver extraordinary performance. Every lap told the same story: steady progress through intelligent engineering. The machine's transformation was not explosive or dramatic. It was measured, logical, and deeply effective. The broader impact extended beyond the racetrack. Dealers reported rising interest in the GSX-8R as enthusiasts sought a bike that could grow with their skill. Track day riders appreciated its affordability, racers valued its durability, and tuners loved its simplicity. What began as a focused build had become a community touchpoint, representing a new approach to attainable performance. And as the project concluded its testing phase, one truth became clear. The Suzuki GSX-8R's strength was never about what it lacked, but about what it revealed when pushed. Each session peeled away another layer of engineering purpose, showing that mastery lies not in excess but in balance. That philosophy carried the project from blueprint to racetrack and transformed a production sport bike into a benchmark for intelligent tuning. When the Suzuki GSX-8R finally took its place on the grid for its first full competitive season, expectations were high but measured. Builders, riders, and engineers all knew that the true test of a machine's evolution comes not from a stopwatch, but from endurance, consistency, and adaptability. What happened next would confirm everything learned during months of tuning and testing. The GSX-8R's performance on track would define whether this experiment in transformation had truly reached its goal. Race weekends revealed how well the modifications had harmonized. From the opening laps, the GSX-8R displayed calm composure amid the chaos of mixed grids. While others fought traction and balance, the Suzuki held its line effortlessly. Its parallel twin delivered torque smoothly off the corners, keeping it within striking distance of larger machines down the straights. Each lap seemed to affirm that this was not an underdog, it was a calculated performer built for endurance and rhythm. Riders reported that fatigue levels were significantly lower compared to previous mounts. The revised ergonomics, coupled with stable aerodynamics, allowed long stints without strain. Even after multiple races, components showed minimal degradation. The brakes maintained bite, the suspension retained feel, and the engine remained cool under sustained stress. Consistency became the GSX-8R's calling card. Every lap felt predictable, every corner repeatable. That predictability turned into strategy. While some competitors struggled with aggressive setups, GSX-8R riders exploited their bike's balance to preserve tires and maintain steady lap times. By the final laps, many found themselves climbing positions, overtaking bikes that had lost grip or composure. In several regional series, the GSX-8R became synonymous with calculated performance, a motorcycle that may not have dominated outright but never faltered under pressure. Off the track, the build inspired a wave of interest among riders seeking a manageable path into racing. Forums filled with questions about parts lists, ECU maps, and geometry setups. Independent tuners began offering packages specifically modeled after the GSX-8R track build. What had begun as one workshop's experiment evolved into a movement centered on attainable performance. It reignited enthusiasm for racing at the club level, where passion often outweighs resources. For Suzuki, the project demonstrated the enduring value of sound engineering. The GSX-8R's steel frame and parallel twin might appear conservative compared to exotic materials and complex electronics, but those fundamentals delivered an unbeatable foundation for learning and adaptation. Reliability allowed riders to focus on improving their skills rather than managing breakdowns. In that sense, the GSX-8R carried forward the same spirit that defined Suzuki's greatest racing eras. Machines that reward precision and discipline more than raw aggression. As the season progressed, lap records fell. Not in spectacular fashion, but through the steady accumulation of small gains. Better lines, sharper throttle control, and improved data analysis all played their part. The GSX-8R became a teacher in motion, showing its riders that speed comes not from brute force, but from mastering the connection between man, machine, and surface. Many racers described the experience as transformative. They did not just go faster, they learned to ride smarter. By season's end, the GSX-8R had earned respect not for out-muscling rivals, but for outlasting and outthinking them. In endurance events, its fuel efficiency and smooth torque delivery translated into fewer pit stops and reduced rider fatigue. Mechanics praised how easily it could be serviced between races, thanks to the simplicity of its design. Every aspect of the build, from lightweight components to ECU tuning, worked in concert to create a machine that performed as predictably in the final hour as it did in the first. The legacy of the Suzuki GSX-8R track build extended beyond competition results. It became a symbol of what grassroots engineering could achieve when guided by clear principles. The project demonstrated that innovation does not always require cutting-edge technology. Sometimes it comes from refining existing strengths. By pushing the GSX-8R to its limits, tuners rediscovered the value of mechanical honesty, a quality often overshadowed by the race for higher output and digital intervention. In workshops across the country, new builds began following the same formula. Focus on suspension setup, prioritize weight reduction, and maintain reliability above all. The GSX-8R had set a template for how to elevate a mid-range sport bike without losing its accessibility. 4 young riders entering track competition, it represented an achievable dream, a motorcycle they could build, ride, and grow with. The sense of ownership and connection was unlike anything offered by off-the-shelf superbikes. On a deeper level, the GSX-8R track build reaffirms something timeless about motorsport. Racing is not just about the pursuit of speed. It is about understanding the interaction between power, control, and human instinct. Every lap, every corner, every mechanical adjustment reveals something about both the machine and the rider. The GSX-8R, in its refined form, became a mirror reflecting that truth. It rewarded focus and punished carelessness, teaching the subtle art of control through mechanical feedback rather than electronics. The culmination of the project was not a single trophy or record, but a transformation of perception. The Suzuki GSX-8R was no longer seen as a mid-tier sport bike. It was recognized as proof that thoughtful development can unlock potential hidden beneath modest beginnings. In garages, track paddocks, and online communities, the name GSX-8R came to represent something larger than displacement or price. It represented opportunity. In the end, the story of the GSX-8R's racing conversion was about more than performance numbers or podium finishes. It was about rediscovering the craft of building, tuning, and riding a machine that speaks the language of balance. It reminded enthusiasts that progress is not always about escalation. Sometimes it is about refinement, precision, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing exactly what your machine can do. The Suzuki GSX-8R proved that greatness can emerge not through spectacle, but through relentless attention to detail and the unshakable pursuit of harmony between man and machine. The journey of the Suzuki GSX-8R track build closes with a lesson that reaches far beyond one model or one racetrack. What began as a curious experiment to turn a road-friendly sport bike into a competitive circuit tool evolved into a blueprint for modern performance culture. The GSX-8R did not rely on revolutionary technology. Instead, it relied on refinement, human input, and the courage to test every assumption about what a middleweight machine could be. Throughout its transformation, the GSX-8R proved that engineering progress is as much about subtraction as addition. By removing weight, simplifying systems, and focusing on feedback, the project revealed the purity of mechanical connection that many riders had forgotten. Each modification had purpose, each adjustment a measurable effect. It demonstrated that precision and predictability can coexist with excitement, and that speed without stability is only half an achievement. For Suzuki, this build reaffirmed its reputation for creating machines that reward real-world riders. The GSX-8R became the spiritual continuation of a lineage built on accessibility and resilience. Where others chased complexity, this motorcycle emphasized clarity. It showed that even in an age of electronic assists and data-driven tuning, there is still unmatched satisfaction in feeling a chassis communicate directly through the handlebars and seat. The long-term impact of the GSX-8R's track evolution can already be seen in how riders approach their machines. Track day communities now discuss setup balance as much as horsepower. Suspension specialists find themselves working with enthusiasts who value mid-corner feedback over straight-line power. In that sense, the GSX-8R did not just improve itself. It shifted expectations across an entire segment. More importantly, it rekindled the spirit of do-it-yourself performance. The idea that a rider could take a well-built production motorcycle, apply patience, and create something genuinely competitive inspired a generation that values effort as much as outcome. The GSX-8R became a reminder that technology serves best when it enhances skill, not replaces it. The racetrack confirmed that mastery lies not in overpowering the machine, but in understanding it completely. So the Suzuki GSX-8R track build stands as both a mechanical achievement and a cultural signal. It showed that balance, reliability, and rider confidence still define greatness. It proved that thoughtful development can bridge the gap between factory design and grassroots racing ambition. And it left a mark on the performance world by reminding everyone that innovation can be quiet, steady, and entirely within reach. In the end, this was never just about a motorcycle. It was about rediscovering why people build, ride, and race in the first place. To connect with motion, to measure progress, and to feel every fraction of a second earned through discipline. The GSX-8R delivered that connection perfectly. As the engine winds down and the paddock falls silent, What remains is simple truth. With focus, patience, and purpose, any machine can rise beyond expectation. That is the legacy of the Suzuki GSX-8R track build.